Hello guys, it's Stephen here again, and this video tutorial will center on how to basically apply progress to your program. So here we have this program where from the previous video on applying actuals, I was going to show you the different ways in which you could progress the program, and the first that we did in the last lesson was the update progress, which is progressing your schedule as planned. Now I would like to show you how to progress the schedule individually with all the basically applying actuals to the individual activities themselves, as opposed to progressing the plan with the intention that all of the activities were actually going as planned. So the first thing we'll do, I'll teach you a quick skill on how to take off actuals off your program. So go to the columns, and the columns you're after will be the activity status. If you look straight down, activity status, it should be here somewhere. Where are you? Activity status. There you go. There you go. Good lad. So there you have it. So we pull this over to this side, and as you can see here, it says completed, not started, in progress. So all you've got to do is just literally click not started, and then you put your finger on the control button and bring it all the way down, select the activities that are in progress, and just basically fill down, and it says yes, yes, yes. And that's it. They've all returned back. So literally you've taken off all of the actuals. So you can either do it via one or two different ways, right? And that would be either you click on the activity, you come over to this side. If it says to you, gives you an error saying you cannot, set an activity to status to not started because it already has actuals, what you need to come and do is look over here. When you see the actuals over here, you delete it. Usually it'd have this on there. So here we've just said that the program, this particular activity, has started. I'll take that off. What we'll do get it to not started, so we'll start it on the project start. So this is one of the ways or methods in which you can apply actuals to your program. So you could either do it from this area here, where it's the status area here, where you click on the activity, you say it started, this is a milestone, so as soon as you click started, it goes straight to started and finished because it's a milestone, it's a 0 duration. So if we go on to enabling works, we do the same thing to that, but we have to now enter based on the duration. We've got a duration, percent complete type is duration. We've got a duration of 100 days. So if I said that we were maybe 20% of the way, so I put in 20% in there, and what P6 does is it calculates what this 20% of the duration is, and we have an actual, we have a remaining of 80 days at complete 80 days because we've done 20%, which is 20 days, right? So in essence, what that literally means is that we perform 20% of the work. You come back here, pull out the columns, and what you want is the duration percent complete because it's a duration percent type of activity. And here we are, there it is. And if you see duration percent of original, apply and OK. So there you have it. We've got 20%, right? So what we will do is, now that we've inputted the actuals and that activity, what do? We F9 it, right? And what we will do is take it back to the, let's just say the date is, give or take, the 4th of July to the 21st of October. So if we date it to about, let's just say, there, this is fine. So we date it to about, say, yeah, maybe the 31st of August, right? And we click OK and we schedule. And in essence, if you look over to this area, you see what's happened. Basically, 20%. If you look at the baseline right underneath, this activity is shifted out. So what this means is, based on this particular date, the remaining is 80 days. The actual is 42 days duration wise. So we've surpassed the 20 days at 20%. So what this in essence means is the new at completion duration will be 122. So it's the sum of 80 plus 42 days. So we're 22 days behind schedule. Now, in order for you to see that, what you come to do is you come up here and you click on the progress line. And what that tells you is anything to the left is late. Anything to the right is early. So as you can clearly see from the progress line, that the baseline of this particular activity is definitely behind schedule. Right? So when you look at what the effects of that is, this is a start with this activity, asbestos. And what has that done to the asbestos activity? It's pushed it out. So basically it's off the baseline and it's moved, it's kicked out. So basically a term to use for this particular instance is that the program's kicking out, right? So these activities are now out of sequence, they're late, and we need to obviously look at them and raise an early warning notice for something like this. Okay, so in essence, this is a method that you could use to put progress into your program. So there are other methods. We've pulled out the duration percent complete, and what you could do for these activities is when you have this, you could go and enter the durations in here. You just click on started. As soon as you click on started, it allows you to enter a duration. You see that? So if I put in there, say 40%, and then I status it back to that particular date, there you see what happens. It's still out of sequence. You see? So here it says to you at remaining is 20, at completion 20. The reason for that is because I've entered a duration over here, which I put as 20%. Now it tells me 20%. So it will recalculate how long is left. So I've put that in there, I schedule it, and then there you go. See? So now it's further out, as you can see. So the new start date was the 31st of August, and that's because my current data date, of which I inputted the actuals for this particular activity, was the 31st of August. So the new start date will be the 31st of August because the previous time I scheduled, it was not a started activity. So what that now tells you is that this activity will now finish on the 21st of September 2016. So I'll draw this back here, and you look and focus over to this area here. We've put in 20%, right, for a 20-day duration, and that remaining, it says 16. So in essence, what this means is, based on this current data date, in the next 16 days, we'll finish this activity if everything progresses as planned. All right? And you could also enter your actuals in here. This is based on the budgeted units. So as you can tell, it's per hour. So this is labor units, as you can see here, and you could change it to either non-labor units, labor cost, non-labor cost, material cost, right? So that's another way to do it, by entering these labor units, but we have no resources assigned to it. Okay, so that's one way of basically progressing your schedule. Now, as you can see, there is a lot of variance. You see, there is a lot of variance. So what we could do in order to see how much variance there is, we could go over here and pull out the activity, the columns that would give us basically a view of, how much variance we have in our program. Okay? So what I'll do is I'll show you guys how to do that. You pull that out. Scroll all the way down, and there we have it. got quite a